What is up everybody, welcome back to the channel. I finally got the A45s back on the road. The ITV has passed, so it is time to begin modding again. I've had this downpipe for a long time and I'm finally ready to put it on the car. So in theory this isn't too difficult. We've got the engine cover off, turbo heat shield off. Got to undo this bolt. Now there's two ways of doing it. You can either take off this part of the turbo or the whole turbo. I've seen both ways. Got to remove these bolts. There's obviously the sensors. I think there's three on here, one at the back and then one over here. And then the manifold which is down in there. So to begin with, I'm just going to start with these bolts just to release the turbo, and then I'm going to decide whether to take this bit off with the actuator and separate it, or what I have seen is that one and then the clip underneath which has got the WiseTech clamp on, and then without removing the oil lines because they're a little bit flexible, you can move it sort of out of the way. So we'll see which one I'm going to do. I have been getting used to wearing gloves, but also I just turned the car around and this is really warm. Yeah, even just turning that car around, it's made it really hot. Down there's two more connections attaching to the downpipe, and just behind them is the final clamp holding this downpipe in. This is the manifold underneath here. I think the easiest way, or maybe I think the way I'm going to go with, because I remember doing the intake and all this was a really big pain, is if I can get this a little bit out of the way, is take this bit off. I think the actuator here is only held on by two bolts on this side going in this way, but I'll keep you updated. I'm going to get them off and hopefully this has cooled down a bit more because it's still quite warm, and I can move this out the way a little bit. So I managed to get a wrench on this tube with the metal pipe on it, but it's not loose enough to spin off with my fingers yet. I've just noticed two bolts here, and I'm going to get them out now and see if this moves the downpipe a bit more. So in the end I've made this out of a few different pieces. That's the socket, and then this came with the wrench kit. It kind of creates this really stubby wrench at the back. It's the only thing I could reach down the back with. I'm going to get these two bolts out that's holding this in sort of secure, and hopefully that can come out to the left then.
A few moments later.
I just noticed this is going to be in the way when we eventually get those bolts off. The first one's like half out, but what I'm going to do is take these pieces out, which is an 8mm on there and there to get the heat shield out, and then I'm not sure what's underneath, but there's a couple of bolts that should just pull out then. We are getting there. Both the bolts down there are off. This is slightly more manoeuvrable. There's two more pieces, one there and then one to the right of it, attaching to this. And then the clamp on the bottom is also still attached to this. So my next mission is to get these two off, and then I think the bottom clamp, but I'm going to struggle with that one from the top. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be, but it always is. That downpipe on the Audi was crazy. This one I thought would be much easier, but it's not. So this is where we're at. Started taking this apart, the airbox and stuff, because this is still not released. I got the clamp off the manifold, but half of it's stuck on because one of the oil feed lines is keeping it on. So I don't know how other people are doing it. So I've decided to remove this, which also needs the battery removing, which, what I remember, whoever worked on this car last, before I bought it, there's a bolt in here that's missing. They never replaced that. And this one has either been spun on too tight, or I don't know what's happened, it never would come off. So now I've tried so hard, I'm gonna have to cut this out. So that's my next thing. Literally there's nothing else I could do. I tried prying on it and then twisting it. I've tried impact, I've tried everything. So the last resort is cut the piece of plastic and the bolt and then get it out. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of doing. So the battery's disconnected. So that's the bolt that's a pain in the ass. Once I can get that out, I can probably plastic weld that back to this piece and not have to actually buy another one. Unfortunately that had to be done. Like I said in the previous video, there's definitely someone been in here doing things and losing bolts, because when I took the intake apart to put the Venturi in and the charge pipe, those bolts were already missing, and I'm pretty sure that one wouldn't come out anyway, so it's a pain in the butt. So now I can take this bit off, take this part out, and then this should come out easier. All that had to come out. The YouTube video I watched made it look way easier. But I'm not sure if I can focus, but just there at the back, there was no chance I was getting that bolt without dropping it anyway from the other side, so all this had to come out. And there's still another one underneath the downpipe I haven't even located yet. And finally, you can see the bolt, the second to last. It's not really in focus, but it's just there. The second to last bolt holding this downpipe in place, that one. And I've just seen, now I've moved that out of the way, another one of these sensors that needs to come out. So 2 connectors there, and then one I think underneath, but I'm going to undo that, undo the other sensor, that should be all the sensors, and then come back to you. Update, this is finally free, so that's all the sensors removed. We've just got the clamp to the same one on the bottom. This is removed, this is removed, this is removed, this is removed, this is removed. We've just got to find this one, which I feel like it's going that way, right underneath. So this is where we ended up last night. There is one bolt holding this in, and then the clamp. The turbo's up and out the way. I've just got the gaskets off the top 2 bits of the manifold. And there's one small one and 2 more nuts underneath that I can't really get to, and I don't want to destroy the gasket. I checked online last night, and at Krapovich have got instructions on how to install this downpipe. So they've suggested to not only remove this, but also this heat shield, which is almost removed. I think it's just 2 more things left. There's a bolt down in the back there, but also is to lift the car up and remove this bolt that we can't see, and also the clamp from down there. Gonna raise the car up, take out the under tray, and then see if we can find those bolts a little bit easier. The under tray's off. I've got to remove this piece, and then that bolt there is the one underneath the downpipe, and that there is the bottom of the clamp. So if we take this off, I should be able to get my hand in to release the downpipe completely. And now it's out. This was a right pain, but now you can see just there the bolt that we need to remove for the downpipe. That was an event. These are the two side by side, quite a big size difference. The only thing left to do is put this bracket on here and then put the O2 sensors all in. This is how empty we're looking now. Did scrape this a bit, so take this off, but it's got a few chips from when I bought it on that side, big chips, so I was thinking of getting this repainted eventually. A lot of work. I was gonna go get some lunch, but I really want to get this downpipe just at least seated. Put the first O2 sensor socket on, I've got that bracket on. The clamp is down on the link pipe. Loads more room. You see it's not in its final resting place, but it is loosely slipped on the link pipe down the bottom. And it's just resting on the bracket down there. Yo, so it's day 3, yes, day 3. It's been a complete pain in the ass, to be honest. But we have everything in. I really couldn't get it to fit very well, which was a struggle. I tried the instructions, I did it that way, then it wouldn't line up. Tried it another way, didn't line up. 4 or 5 different times I tried it. Anyway, now I've finally got there. The only thing that I didn't account for, because the very few videos I've seen on this car doing the downpipe, no one's explained it or said that they've changed it, is the gaskets. So I'm gonna have to order new ones then, so it's all gonna have to come out again. But it's what it is. I ordered new ones for the Audi because that was well documented. You live and you learn, figure it out eventually. There is one bolt I couldn't get in, but it is super secure. So I'm just gonna put the charge pipe in, the airbox in, and then try the first start.
2 hours later.
Update on where we're at. Most of it is in. Got this back in, the charge pipe. Just got to connect this up. Problem is, or another problem, this, well, 2 of these sensors for I believe the OPF, they have them on the downpipe, so I put them on. But this cable, there's no chance it's going back into this. So I've tried routing it a different way. The only thing I could think of is getting longer rubber hoses, which I really don't have time to source right now. This is the daily, so it's got to be driven. It needs to be working. So my idea is to take them out. I have these caps. I'm going to put them on the holes, save the metal pieces in the rubber hoses, and then I'm going to loop one of the hoses back into itself. That should work. That's in the Akrapovic instructions, but their downpipe doesn't even have these, so it completely reroutes them anyway. Why have it on a downpipe and then it not work? Or just give me some like longer hoses or something, you know? So if I can't get it homologated because of that, I'm gonna get some longer hoses. I'm gonna save them anyway, just in case. That's something I have learned from modifying cars here, is keep all the OEM stuff just in case you need to revert it back. But for now, I'm gonna take them out, pull that whole cable out, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna loop it back into itself. I'll get back to you. This is the sensor. Well, actually this is the sensor, these are the tubes. So in the future, if I had like this much longer on each one, because they're very flexible, I reckon we could run this. But for now, what I'm gonna do is remove this, use this cable, loop this back into here, and attach it back onto the mount, and then put half of it essentially back into the car. right, and it kind of looks like it should be like that. So apart from the turbo heat shield and the metal under tray, everything is back in the car, minus the old downpipe. The first start, and I'm almost 100% sure an engine light's going to come on, but I've left those trays off because I want to see if there is any leaks in the manifold because of the gasket I'm reusing. And then also this, I don't want to tighten that up anymore. It should go. I think that should close, but if I tighten that up anymore, I am 100% sure it will snap. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. And then check for any leaks. The one underneath the car where it goes to the link pipe, fingers crossed for that one. And any of the connections on top. If we're all good, we'll put the car down and then we'll get the tune done. So because of all the mishaps and it not fitting the greatest, I am a little bit nervous. So what I'm going to do is start it up, and then I'm going to go put my hand there before it gets really hot and see if I can feel any air coming through the manifold or any of the connections. Fingers crossed for them to be sealed, and then I'll be extremely happy. Here we go. So I couldn't feel anything, any air coming out of here or down there, but it did look like possibly there was some steam or smoke coming out of this. I'm not sure if it's just the oils burning off the downpipe. Could well be, because when I did this one and it started to heat up, it went crazy. It filled up the whole room. I'm gonna have to get it outside before we get it to temperature. But I'm really hoping that's sealed, at least enough to wait for the new gasket.
1 week later.
We've got the stage 2 ECU tune on the A45, also done the gearbox. It is really, really good. We've just been testing for a little bit and I took it back yesterday to finalize, make sure everything's working as it should. So everything was going great until the boost pipe came off again. That little rubber hose that I had problems with when the car was stock came off, and they've had to put it back on again. So they recommended I change that pipe to a reinforced one. It is really bad. I don't know why they've done that, especially with the spring clips as well. They say get the ones with the screw on, and then also a reinforced piece of hose. But they've also recommended to change the one down here. Let me get the light. They've also recommended me to change the one on this end of the charge pipe. Wisec have put a new one on there, or it came with a new one for that pipe. And then down in there, on the other side of the heat exchanger, change that one to a reinforced one. And that rubber tube is the one that's attached to the blow-off valve. So that is really, really annoying. The other thing that he noticed, he lost all boost because of that little rubber hose that was really annoying in that previous video I made. This turbo clamp also completely left the chap. So it looks like the bolt has been replaced, but the clamp is the same. I'm not sure what he did. All he said to me was get another OEM one. So if any of you know where I can get an OEM clamp for that turbo without buying a whole new turbo, I would much appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. We've got 3 tubes to find. 1, 2, 3. Get some better mounting hardware. The clamp for the turbo. And then the car should be running sweet again. I mean, it has been ages since that tube came off, and with the higher boost pressures, I was expecting it to. But unfortunately, all things happened at once. The car does feel a lot quicker. I took it to France, went down the dual carriageway, and you don't even need to go to half throttle, and you just go. So it is really cool. This video is going to be continued because I've got to wait for those parts. I was going to end the video with just some sound clips, but this morning, look what came in. The Akrapovic titanium exhaust. This is the link pipe, big long box, and then the back box is in here. So I got this because the full titanium catback from Urban Exhaust that I got with the brand on and everything Doesn't have EU certification or TUV. The engineer here can't homologate it. Shame. I do have it. I've kept it. The rest of it's up there. I'm going to clean it up and I'm probably going to stick it on the wall or something, because it does have the brand on it, so that'd be quite cool. The Akrapovic comes with the EC or TUV certificate that I need. This is going to be the last cold start with the OEM exhaust and the new downpipe. So the last cold start with the OEM AMG exhaust. This one has got no resonator on the link pipe. And my one that can't be homologated did have a resonator. So it's going to be interesting to see the difference in sound from the Akrapovic to the one that I had. I think it's going to be a lot louder because of that, but maybe the back box has a lot more sound deadening and that's why they can certify it. But time's going to tell. I'm really excited. I'm going to go and take this to the gym now, come back, and then we're going to fit the Akrapovic exhaust. One thing I am excited about, I don't know if you can hear it, there's like a little whistling noise or ticking noise from the valve. That's been really annoying for the last week or so, or since I put the OEM exhaust back on, so it'll be really cool. I hope this comes with a new valve and that'll be completely gone, but I'm super excited to get this exhaust on.